Hey guys, so we're starting this foundation review with a bare face today. So if you guys watch one of my recent videos, I put out a full face of first impressions on Flower Beauty. I'll put a card right here if you're interested. And in that review, I used this new foundation and I loved it, and I knew I had to do a full wear test of it because I haven't worn it past like 30 minutes and I really need to see how it performs because it's really good. My first impressions of it was incredible. So this is the new Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Foundation. It looks like this. It's glass packaging, it's heavy, it feels expensive. It also has a pump, which is great. I absolutely love that. I got mine in the lightest shade 01 shell. So it comes with 1 ounce of product, which is normal for foundations, and it also retails for $15. So that's a little bit pricey for a drugstore foundation, especially because my favorite drugstore foundation is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I think that retails for about $10 and it comes with the same amount. So that one is definitely my favorite, so I'm interested to see if this is going to hold up to that. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and we're just going to get started. I didn't want to do a long intro. I really just want to see how this foundation performs, and I want to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. Okay, so first of all, in all my foundation reviews, I always start with this same primer. This is my Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. This is kind of a constant for me. I know how it works and how it interacts with many different products, so I like using this whenever I do reviews or wear tests. And with this, I'm just going to put the primer on the left side of my face. That way we can compare the foundation with primer versus no primer. Now, as I go through the foundation, I'm going to read to you some of the claims. So it says medium buildable coverage, but I did end up looking on the website and it says light to medium, which when I used this the first time, definitely light to medium. I did use a sponge, but I'm glad they said on the website, even though the bottle says medium, I wouldn't say medium. It is buildable from when I tried, and it also says a natural radiant finish, which that's actually perfectly describes it. It's very, very radiant and glowy, and it's like looks very natural on the skin, which is why I'm super excited to try this foundation and hope that it lasts throughout the day. I want to show you the shade up close. So I thought it was actually gonna be more liquidy than that. It is obviously liquidy, but I thought it was gonna be like running down my hand. So as you can see from my concealer video I just put out, I'm actually breaking out from some of the concealers. I'm pretty sure it's just the L'Oreal Infallible concealer, but I am breaking out a little bit from doing that video. So we will be able to see if this covers some acne spots throughout the day. I'm just gonna dab it on my face. That was 2 pumps, but I kind of feel like because we're gonna be using a beauty blender today, we might need a little more. So the reason I'm using a beauty blender, this is my Morphe blending sponge, is because I just really don't like using brushes with foundation. I think it just has to do with my skin or something. I've tried so many, but they always look so streaky on me. So I like to stick with beauty blenders. Even though they do soak up some of the product, I feel like the finish is just so much more natural. But I know a lot of people go in with brushes and then go in with the beauty blender after. But I still like to wear pretty light makeup, so I prefer like just the way a beauty blender covers. As you can see, just like when I tried it for the first time, it blends out so beautifully and it is very natural. Like it's obviously more of a light coverage with the beauty blender. And the finish is very like glowy. Do you see how where it's blended out? If you guys ever tried the Makeup Forever Face and Body Foundation, the coverage and like look of it reminds me of that foundation. I used to use that back in the day. It's a very, very light coverage foundation, but it's beautiful. I want to know if you guys have tried Flower Beauty, because in that first impressions, I've never tried Flower Beauty before, and I basically didn't really like many of the products. The only products I liked were like one lip product, and like this foundation seemed amazing, but it just is disappointing because the foundation seems so good and the packaging seems like expensive, but the other Flower Beauty products, the packaging was just like cheap and plastic, and it's a little bit more money than like normal drugstore makeup. So this is what the foundation looks like with one pretty light layer. As you can see, like you can see the glow right there. It's very, very natural and definitely a light finish. Some of my acne spots, yeah, they're still peeking through, but I would normally just go in with concealer. I am gonna pump another pump on my hand, and I'm gonna build it a little bit. So my cheeks are a little bit red, so I'm gonna put some right there. I'm gonna build some around my nose, maybe around there. When I first tried it, it was buildable. Okay, it's like slightly buildable. If you go into the second layer, maybe with a brush you can achieve medium coverage, but even with 2 layers it kind of seems like it's sticking with still a pretty light coverage, but I like that, so I'm not complaining. We're also going to be doing a natural lighting test. I'm going to show you it up in sunlight, and I'm also going to be doing a flash test because some foundations do have a flashback, so when you take pictures you look like a ghost. I'm going to take a really bad picture of myself. Okay, that didn't flash. That's awkward. How do I make it flash? Okay, my phone, for some reason, the flash like isn't working anymore. So I'm just gonna show you the picture I took that I look terrible. Please don't make fun of me. Oh my God, I look so bad. But as you can see, there's no flashback or anything. I look normal. It matches my skin tone. So that's a really good sign that it doesn't look weird with flash. So now I just want to show you how I finish off the rest of my face regarding like concealer and powder, and then I'm just going to do my normal everyday makeup routine off camera. But normally I'd go in with the concealer and I'd put it under my eyes, nose, and chin. But because I really want to see how this foundation lasts on my chin and around my nose, I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer under my eyes. So I'm going to go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC15. Also, I was thinking about covering some of my acne spots because they don't really seem to show. So I'm just going to do some of my acne spots. I have one like right there. And then I'm going to go a little bit under the eye. And even looking at the foundation now, and it's been a couple minutes, it's had time to set. It hasn't set into the creases or on my nose or my chin. That's actually incredible. And barely on my eyelid, and I haven't even set it or anything. And that's really, oh my God. I'm really excited about this foundation. This is like, it looks so good. So all those are blended out. I'm just gonna do under my eyes. I didn't want to put too much product, so I might rub some of this off because the focus is the foundation. It really looks beautiful, guys. I like can't get over this because like the other products from Flower Beauty just I really didn't like, and this foundation is beautiful so far. Okay, and now onto powdering. I'm going to do the exact same routine as I normally do. I'm going into my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the lightest shade 05 Fair. I got some product on my sponge, and what I do is I tap out any creases around my chin and then I set it. And normally I let this bake for about 3 minutes. I'm also going to tap out around my nose. It still hasn't that's incredible. And then I really push in there. And I normally actually don't wear makeup on my forehead, but because I did today, I'm just going to set my forehead. And then under my eyes, even though this is the concealer, I tap it out and set. And I'm also setting like in this area because sometimes the foundation gets really oily there for me. Okay, and now I set a timer for 3 minutes and I leave this bake on, and I'll be back to brush it off. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now I go into my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, the matte and poreless one in the lightest shade translucent. Someone tell me why this is translucent. That's not translucent. It makes me feel paler than I am. This should be like fair or ivory, but it's not. It makes me mad. Anyways. So I go in with my Sigma F35. I use this as a powder brush. I prefer this shape. As you can see, I kind of molded it to my face, but it's a great powder brush. And what I do, I kind of like take the powder and go over the bake and like pat it. I don't know. It works for me. This is how I do normally my makeup every day, and it really holds in my concealer. Also, I wanted to mention, as I was baking and putting the powder on, this side that's primed, this side looks no different than this side. Also, just to mention, I do have combination skin. I normally don't get too oily throughout the day or dry. I mean, it's now winter, so maybe my skin's a little bit more dry than usual. But now that I'm done powdering, I'm going to go off camera and finish my everyday makeup routine, and I'm going to be back and I'm going to tell you how the powder is blended over the foundation, if everything went great, and that'll also be when I'll be showing you the foundation in natural lighting. Okay, I'm back with my full face of makeup done, and I'm back to show you the natural lighting. So I already looked at it in natural lighting, and I think it looks really nice. It looks so smooth in the skin. Let's see, still hasn't creased. Here's this side. Also, the side with primer, which is this side, still looks the same. And I want to zoom in for my chin so you can see. Yeah, it honestly looks great. So when I was blending out everything on my face, it went perfectly and nothing was patchy or anything. The one thing is that the foundation is still slightly tacky where I didn't set it because I didn't put powder here. You can definitely, it's a little bit sticky, so I would recommend probably setting it all because I'm assuming this portion's probably going to completely rub off. Also, I did want to mention I do not use a setting spray. I just do my makeup like normal without anything like that. Now, I am starting this wear test a little bit later than usual, so right now it is 3:30. So the first time I'm going to check in will be at the 5-hour mark, so that'll be 8:30. So the next time you'll see me, it'll be 5 hours from now. Hey guys, so it is 8:30. It has been 5 hours, and I'm going to zoom in really quickly, but I do want to give like initial thoughts. What is in my hair? Honestly, this foundation looks so good. Maybe a tiny microscopic amount of oily, but not even. The powders, my highlight, my blush, my bronzer is all still on. It's not patchy anywhere. I don't see any spots in my face where it's breaking up. Here I am super close up. I just really want to show you guys what it looks like. Like around the pores and the nose, it looks beautiful. Now it did slightly crease around my nose, but most foundations at this point look worse around my nose, and I'm not really that mad about it. It literally looks fine. It's not like you can tell when I'm not going like that. And now here's sort of a close-up of my chin. Remember, I only put concealer like right here, there, and there. All of this is foundation, and it hasn't wore off my chin. That's actually really impressive. Okay, I'm gonna put my chair down. But yeah, so the next time you'll see me, it'll be 11:30 at night, so hopefully I don't fall asleep. Hey guys, so we are finally at the 8-hour mark. Oh my god, it is 11:30 p.m. The foundation hasn't changed too much on my face. It doesn't look too different, but I have noticed in some areas it looks a little bit more like cakey and textured, like a little bit on like my upper lip. So as you can see, I have creased a little bit right there. It's very minimal though. I feel like most of the time when I wear foundations, there's like a very distinct line. And even around my chin, like, yeah, it wore off a tiny bit, but if you guys watch my concealer comparison video, first of all those concealers pretty much made me very, very oily. In this foundation, like, I'm a little oily, but nothing compared to those days at all. I feel like I could feel the damp on my skin. And also, all those concealers I feel like creased a lot more around my nose. Maybe around this area it's starting to look a little bit more cakey. This area looks beautiful. Like, it literally looks the exact same as when I applied it. The only areas, the nose looks perfect. It's just a little bit right here in the pore area and a little bit on my upper lip and maybe on the sides of my chin. It looks a little bit worn, but the foundation actually held up so well. And I do want to mention the primer was on my left side. And there's no difference. The primer side versus the non-primer side, they both look nearly identical. But yeah, final thoughts. I wish I was someone who wore foundation every day. I just really wear it for videos and maybe special occasions. But I am so excited to keep using this. I'm going to probably wear it a couple more times to kind of form a final opinion, because I don't like just leaving this review video and then never mention the foundation ever again. In a couple weeks or whatever, usually I'll post a video like a full face of drugstore makeup or a full face of products I've reviewed, and I'll give you kind of an updated perspective on a lot of the products I've talked about, because my opinion usually does change a little bit after I wear the product more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.